I guess every day is Skillz day, right?
Day, everybody.
Yeah, sorry if you heard yourself.
No, that's cool. I was just going to check and make sure we were online too.
Yeah.
All right, so we have exciting news. It's not breaking news because I guess we got scooped by the boss. You know, she gets the news first. But we are really excited. Our national event, our annual big convention, is on for this year. So this July 1st, the official announcements come out about ticketing and some of the speakers we have lined up and so on. So we can't tell you too much, but we're going to tell you what we can about Escape 2021. Heidi's really excited. I got a kiss out of that. All right. So,
Nice.
we were just chatting before we went live here, trying to figure out, and John has definitely been to all of the Escape events, formerly known as MegaCon.
Yes.
And I missed the first one in person, but it was our first experience with streaming some of it. So at least in theory, I've been to all of them, though that first one is debatable as whether it counts or not. Good morning, Victoria. Good morning, Mr. Hunt. Bringing the team too. Awesome. We're going to talk about why that is an awesome idea today. So I think I want to start off really quickly. I want to tease the people here a little bit with the resort. Now, we've had this at a couple different venues over the years, but the Serrata is the one that we keep coming back to. It is gorgeous. So, John, while I pull up these pictures, can you tell us a little bit about the experience at the Serrata?
Sure. So, first of all, there is nothing more than having the opportunity to go to a convention or go to a network place where, like, you're literally right on the beach. Like, you step out of that conference room, right on the beach. Absolutely amazing. They renovated it. Our rooms have been great. Restaurants, everything right there on site. You know what I mean? Like, if you like to drink, it's right there on site. And like there is
network.
Yes. Yeah, the network concept. But yeah, like Mike is scrolling through the pictures right now. It's really, really amazing. And of course, it's one of those network conferences you're going to go to where you're super relaxed. You know, there is no tension. There is you don't have to get up and wear a tie or a suit or put on your or even put on your daily pajamas that you wear every single day.
Yeah, didn't somebody come in uniform a couple of years ago? Like, oh, I thought it was going to be like a Our goal, I think of it this way. Our goal is to channel our inner Randy Reed at this point. We want slides or flip-flops or sandals, shorts, and a cool shirt. It's so key.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, the Serrata is gorgeous, guys. And they just spent millions of dollars renovating it last year. Yeah, Victoria, we're hoping for you guys. I know a couple of the UK team over there is antsy about being able to come over. So I really hope that happens. I love hanging out with you guys. So while you're at this resort, it is gorgeous. And it is on the water. And we find that, first of all, being in a spot where you can step out of like business mind for a little while, even though we're going to be talking about a lot of business things, you're not in your school, you're not in a conference room. And half the time when we're in the conference room, the doors are open and you're looking at the beach.
Yep.
It sparks creativity. So whereas like when you're in the office, you're being productive, when you're at an event like this and a location like this, you are creative, which is a very important part and something that's kind of hard to do when you're stuck in your own funk every day in your office.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course, it's so, I'm going to use the word refreshing.
Oh, yeah. It's like
plugging in. Very refreshing. Yeah. I guess I don't think if there's any other word to put it out there. And when I say refreshing, I'm not necessarily saying like refreshing as in like emotionally refreshing, right? But it's like also intellectually refreshing.
Absolutely. And to add to that, in addition to just like being there and surrounded by some amazing people, and guys, when we say surrounded by people, we're not just surrounded by owners. There are managers there. There are some industry experts there. And there are team members there, everything from 12, 15-year-olds on up. There's going to be 3 different attendance levels. So there will be the instructor level, which is for your storm team, your regular instructors, you know, the ones that are out there teaching, but they're not necessarily like manager level or school running level. So that side of the event will be run by Master Clayton. And usually there's some other speakers happening on that side as well. And they'll be working on everything from how to teach, teaching the curriculum, bonding with other instructors, which is very important for those less weathered instructors to have those relationships and friendships across the world. And to allow them to go back feeling as if, first of all, they are competent. Second of all, feeling and knowing how important they are to the school. You know, a lot of events will talk about the millions of dollars you'll make for summer camp. And it doesn't really speak to your junior instructors who then like see all those dollar signs or feel very removed from that. This is specific to them. They're going to come out feeling that they are integral to your event. The second level will be for your owners and managers. So that's probably most of you watching today. And we'll talk everything from a certain amount of mindset, a certain amount of business, and a certain amount of Skillz-esque branding type things that will really help you leverage skills. And of course, the final level is the VIP day. And these are for people who are ready to take it to the next level or who are already at the next level. Our Gold Lifetime members will be there. And this is for, I want everything. I want it all. So there's a little something for everyone. Now, with that, we do want your input. What would you guys like to learn? What challenges are you having? What do you wish you could do better? Or what do you wish people knew about what you do? This will help us tailor some of our talks. And I think this year, because Mike talks a lot, it's probably Mike's fault. It's going to be more TED Talk style things so that we can get you very concise, actionable things really quickly.
Yes.
I totally take the blame for that.
Yes. Yeah. So, and of course, there is going to be the live stream side of it. So if you guys are not able to make it, you can still purchase the tickets and hop onto the live stream and, you know, and view it. But again, there's nothing like being there in person. I hate to say it.
Yeah.
And just so you guys know, it's happening during a time when the tickets are going to be very, very, very cheap. Okay, because it's the end of September. All the schools will be active again or back in sessions every part of the US, right? So it's not like vacation time or anything. So, but again,
this is a great justification for playing hooky, by the way. And you know, we last year, not last year because we did have it, but the year before that when it got canceled, we were going to bring one of our storm team members who actually just turns 13 today. So happy birthday, Jacob. We were going to bring him, and some of you saw some of the things that he was doing to raise funds to pay for himself and his father to come. And one of the justifications was, even though it was like a school year type of thing, was I'm actually going to learn. I'm not playing hooky to go get ice cream. I'm going to learn very powerful lessons that I'll be able to come back and talk to my teachers about. So if you need to talk to your parents to justify some of those storm team things, phrase it as almost a homeschooling learning experience where you're not cutting out on learning. You're actually going to a learning intensive. And it may help with some of those questions. Let's see.
And again, it does count towards your continuing education classes. So if you're in an industry where you have to, or if you're positioned yourself in your community in doing stuff like this, it's a great way to do it.
Absolutely. So, speaking of continuing education, let's look back at some of the, we can't talk about speakers or topics yet. Honestly, we're in the planning phase for some of it, and some of it is just still secret. But we've learned a lot over the past few years, both as participants, and last year, John and I were, along with Kelly, given the opportunity to take more of a leadership role in the event. And I know I learned a lot about that too. So looking back from, the past 5 or 6 years or so, what are some of the really memorable things that just kind of stuck with you over the years?
Oh my God. Of course. What a great question. So listen, memorable. I remember the first MegaCon. Well, at the time it was MegaCon when I went to it, and back then it was all just about like meeting the person who created it at all. You know what I mean? And of course, it wasn't my first time hearing Melody speak, but when she got on stage for talking about Skillz and the science and psychology behind Skillz to everybody there, it was really, really amazing. A year after that, it was Ernie Reyes when he came there and he talked, and it wasn't so much of a Skillz talk or anything, right? But it was about him going through life and certain things that happen in his life, and he was like, yeah, you know what? No matter what, don't give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of us know him just as an actor, but he's got a pretty powerful story too. Especially some of the things he's gone through in his life recently. I mean, it's not my story to tell, but I mean, he's got an amazing story of perseverance and being able to adapt to situations. So I really appreciated that quiet time. And it was interesting because through the event, you could almost tell how long somebody's been a martial artist by how they knew Ernie. Like to some people it was, oh wow, you're the guy from the Rundown, or oh, you're that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. So I'm sitting there talking to him like, dude, I started martial arts because I used to meditate in my backyard trying to hear my own heartbeat because I wanted to be the last Electric Knight, just like you. And he's like, wow, you remember that movie? I was like,
or even if I'm not mistaken, when he played next to Chuck Norris in that those series when he was a young kid, long hair, young kid.
Yeah. He was in Estonia with Schwarzenegger.
Yeah. So I mean,
now I'm dating myself a little.
Well, I think we both are. But again, like when he came on stage and he talked, and you think you see these people and you're like, oh, they've got it made. They're actors. They're this, they're that. And when they go up there and they talk on stage, and you're like, oh my God, they're just as human as we are. I mean, we all are, right? But it tells us a lot. It tells us a lot about not giving up, just persevering no matter what.
Absolutely. And you hear like the other sides of it too. I mean, we had Jason David Frank, the Power Ranger. Sorry, Michael Lasky, I know that you have a lot of things going on, but Jason is my boy now. And I only say that because it was nice again to spend that real time with him, to be able to chat with him about, like, his thing was more like the challenges of success and how it was interesting. You don't think like success will be challenging, but talking with him about what it's like to maintain a certain amount of privacy, and that's something we talk about very often, is like, where's the boundary between I'm involved in my student's life and they're knocking on my door at 3 a.m. because they need help with homework. So it was interesting to talk with him about that. Success brings its own challenges that you have to be prepared for. And I'm really glad I had that conversation with him because, I'm finding lately that success is challenging. And I start to realize why they say some people fear success just as much as they fear failure. So I really appreciated that with him.
Yes. So yeah, there's been a lot of conversations, a lot of networking, a lot of great topics, whether it's regarding the Skillz program or entrepreneurship or, personal lives, of how they've gotten to be successful or how they've conquered things in life. So it's, again, an amazing way to network for sure.
I mean, even just last year, last year was the first year that we had Kelly on board. And, we are all ecstatic still to have Kelly on the team. She is a powerhouse in team training, systems development, and she's just a dynamic and powerful person to be around. And last year, having her at the event, leading the entire crowd through ice-breaking games and team development type things, I think it brought us all together, a little closer as a Skillz nation. But I also learned a lot about where my shortfalls were in team development. And, it's strange because I always say, like, I can train any child. I can connect with them and train them and be so patient. But when it comes to team, for some reason, a switch flips. And it's one thing that I personally struggle with is training team empathetically and making sure I meet their needs. And, just from Kelly's talks and the way that she interacted with us, I think that really changed me as a boss. So, that was something that I took away from going to the event as well. So looking forward to this year, the things that we can tell you a little bit. So we mentioned that we do want to have a little bit shorter presentation time. We know that these are like really vibing events and it's cool while you're there, but then you walk out of there and your brain is on fire. And sometimes some of the topics are so deep that just the one talk fills your brain. So I think we are going to stick a little more with the shorter TED Talk style talk, which will allow us to cover a little bit more, but still stay in depth, meat and potatoes, not just, fluff. And I think we're also going to work in, last year we did a couple little workshop type things. I think we're going to work more of that in this year.
Yes. It's the hands-on, learn as we do kind of thing, because a lot of people sit there, they listen, and they struggle when they go back into implementation. So this is definitely going to be helping them a lot.
Yeah, I know that it is something that's difficult for me. I mean, you're in there in the moment, and it's like you're in your flow state with 150 other people, and you're all just like flash of just enlightenment. And then you're like, oh man, as soon as I get home, and then you get home and it's like, wait, what? And it's so frustrating because you can almost get it back like a dream you woke up from.
Of course. But again, it's going to be recorded. So as we're live streaming it, it's going to be uploaded. So if you simply want to go and just listen and, absorb, do that. You can always go back and re-listen to it. And I know a lot of people don't do that. A lot of people don't go back and quote unquote relearn the information. But I find that to be absolutely useful, because when you're there, you're at the moment. But when you're going back to relearning, you're in the relearning mode.
It's interesting because especially during VIP Day, we bring some of the things that we're working on now. Like this is, I'm going to say cutting edge, but I don't mean like, hey, we're inventing new chromosomes or anything. I mean, just like things that we're still testing out that are working for us, but haven't really made their way out to the mainstream yet. And in VIP Day, we talk about some of these things and how to implement them so that those schools who have all their systems in place or who are working on all of their systems can take this and stay at the forefront of the industry. And what I'm finding is that like last year, we did a separate live stream for the VIP event, and people are still asking questions about those things and saying, hey, can you tag me in that video that you did last year? Or, hey, what's the video that Melody did about that thing? Am I allowed to tag my staff member in that? And it's like interesting how over a year later, we're still, having people refer back to that information to implement it.
Yeah.
Now, this year, I think it's going to be even more like that, because one of Melody's goals for this year is to make this, let me put it carefully, a little bit less of an industry event and a little more of a skills event, understanding that Skillz is available to our industry.
Yes.
And so I don't want to exclude people who are non-Skillz members. This event is open to everybody. You don't have to be a Skillz member. We're not going to sell you a Skillz. Well, we might try to sell you a Skillz membership, but we're not going to hard sell you. We'll just make it available to you. But what we really want to do is empower the industry to work better with children. However, usually when you go to these events, it's the same dozen or so people speaking, and it's empowering and it's a lot of mindset stuff, but it's the same as every other event. And we want this to be a skills event focused on what Skillz does best, making people's jobs easier and more enjoyable when it comes to working with kids in a developmentally appropriate way. So every talk, almost every talk or every topic will be focused somehow on what it means to follow the Skillz best practices. So whether that's teaching, whether that's the science and psychology of it, whether that's the customer service environment, or as Tim mentioned a little earlier there, leveraging branding and ideas to create your own brand awareness and brand authority. It'll be things you can apply to any school, but it's things that we as Skillz recommend as best practices. So I hope that kind of balances that idea of, is it just for Skillz owners? No, but it'll be following Skillz formats.
Well, I mean, and again, let's just take it a step back and have people understand that Skillz is not a new concept. Skillz has been around for over 22 years now, but it has been renamed or reformatted or oh man, what's the right word here? Just
it's been constantly evolving and improving.
Yeah, evolving. That's it. Yeah. And when people call and ask questions about Skillz, yeah, I just want it to be simple and easy, martial art drills. I'm like, wait, stop. Let's understand what Skillz is all about from the beginning. It's not just the drills. The drills is like a portion of it, but let's understand the main concept behind Skillz. What's the main, why was Skillz created to begin with? That's what we really need to know.
Absolutely. And one of the things that you'll come away with out of this is, that little bit of perspective. Even people who have been Skillz members for years sometimes come away with like those aha moments that we use Skillz to teach martial arts. It's a teaching modality. It's an understanding of teaching the way kids learn. While it came out of the martial arts industry, it's not limited to martial arts.
No.
Melody uses it with Van's football team. There are schools using it for parkour. There are schools using it for dance and cheer and gymnastics. I've actually been using it to supplement education with reading awareness and reading comprehension, delving into some of that stuff. So Skillz is more of a modality. It is not, the hardcore, you have to do this. Although I know for the most part, we're preaching to the choir here. But just in case somebody discovers this, don't think that you have to not be you, but at the same time, you have the freedom to do a lot with it.
Well, we're preaching to the choir, and this choir will take what we're preaching and, put it out there so we can have more non-Skillz members at that event, unless all the Skillz members just decide to, I'm going this year, so let's sell it out. Let's, and of course, we're going to be selfish here. We do want to sell it out.
Yeah, and that is a concern, guys. So partially because of, COVID and concerns with that, while Florida is completely open, now there is this on one hand, a certain amount of concern that everything is run safely. And on the other hand, the big rush that now everybody can travel, there is not a lot of availability. So for this event, it is definitely going to be capped at a certain number of tickets. Once they're gone, they're gone. There's no like, oh, can you squeeze me in, do me a favor? There's, what are we doing? Like 50 or so VIP tickets, and those are open to Gold Lifetime members first. So the general event, like 150 tickets, something like that.
Yep.
So this is one, if you want in on it, don't message Melody. I'll come and beat you up. Not really. Kelly will come and beat you up. Don't message Melody. The tickets will go on sale July 1st. The links will be published on the mailing list and the pages and the groups. And, John and I will be talking about it almost every week. So, instead of bothering Melody, who's focused on crafting all this stuff, if you have questions, please hit up John or I or Kelly. Kelly's in charge of putting a lot of this together for us. So hit us up, but not until July 1st, because we won't have anything to tell you. We're not going to give you any special things. Our Gold Lifetime members will get a little early access, another perk of being a Gold Lifetime member. But otherwise, we'll be talking about, let's see, what's today is all right, so even the next week, we won't have any new information for you. Though,
no, Thursday.
Yeah, the day after, right?
The day after.
Day late, dollar short. But if you do have questions or comments or input as to topics, that we do want to hear, because ultimately we're here to serve you guys. Yep.
But yes, you're gonna have a blast. And the other good thing is the way Melody likes to set it up. If I'm not mistaken, by 2:00, we're out of the room, we're on the beach, we're having fun, we're enjoying ourselves, networking with everybody. So it's a super, super fun event.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean the event ends at 2. So normally what happens is we'll start off with some in-room networking. I'm sorry, the landscapers just showed up here, if it gets loud. We'll start with some in-room networking and breakfast and such. And then usually, we haven't fixed the schedule yet. Usually it starts at around 9. And then we'll do like 9 to 2 or so of hardcore, like we're on. Then we break, and there are 2 little cafes down by the beach. Rum Runner's on one side of the hotel by the pool, and Harry's on the other side. And what we do is we reconvene down there and actively network, talk about, implement, get with other school owners so that we can figure out how this will work in our schools. So that goes till about dinner time, and then it's party on.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, it's going to be like absolutely just, I don't know. We haven't gone to one yet that we were like, you know what? I don't know. It's like every single is like, when is the next one? When is the next one? When is the next one?
Yeah, people have been asking me, like, since the last one had to unfortunately get postponed, they're like, all right, when is it? Do you have info yet? Can I buy tickets?
Yeah.
Oh, and I guess that is one consideration for those of you who had tickets for the last one, but maybe you were in an area that did not allow travel yet and you were not able to come. That will be the one consideration. So you could reach out to us, and we'll make sure that you're taken care of there. So Kimberly wants to know, what are the tickets average? So I do believe Melody released that information.
Melody, yes, Melody released it yesterday in the Skillz licensed Skillz group. So
yeah, so
go in there and look. I can't remember them off the top of my head.
I don't know if she released it publicly yet, so I'll tag you in that post so you can see all the info. I know sometimes she likes to release things early to members. I just don't want to get in trouble.
So if you go in the search bar in the group, guys, Kimberly, if you go in the search bar and type in Escape 2021, And if you find Melody's post, then the amount will be in there.
Yeah,
But,
and you might beat me to it, but I'll see if I can. Oh, maybe she did that in the escape group. One of us will find you and tag you in it here. Yeah, if you guys aren't in the Escape 2021 group, also make sure you join that. That's where we'll be doing a lot of the pre-party as we lead up to it, talking about who the speakers will be, announcing topics, and just generally ramping up the energy for it. Come on, I'll find it. Oh, I found it. All right, let me tag. Oh, I got to invite you. All right, Kimberly, I'm going to invite you to the escape group and then tag you in that post. Boom, done. All right. So guys, this is really exciting. We are so excited to get back with the Skillz family. It is a wonderful event full of friendship and learning and implementation and bonding. It is a wonderful, wonderful event, and I hope to see many of you there. I know not everybody can make it. Not everybody's allowed to travel yet, but I do hope to see many, many of you there.
Yep. And if you want to do a small getaway before then, don't forget August the 11th, we're doing the core skills, I believe, if I'm not mistaken off the top of my head, workshop in Tampa. So yeah, you can do a round trip ticket for almost like $100 right now. So if not less than $100.
Nicey nice.
Yes.
All right, everybody. It's about that time. Go out there and get it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, cool. And we will see you, if you're a Skillz member, we'll see you on Monday in the licensed members group for our executive chat. If you are interested in the CPNS course, just a quick shameless plug, the new semester does start up for July. So check out skillzworldwide.com/certify, and you can see what all is involved in that. All right.
Until next time, happy Wednesday.
Catch you guys later.
Bye.